Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Monday. That's right, it's Monday, September 13th, 2021. I'm Jeremy Crosby. I hope you had a wonderful day. Glad you're tuning in with us as we have a very busy show for Talking Fitchburg today. Yes, we had a whole bunch of great events happen over the weekend here in the city of Fitchburg, and we're going to recap all of them. Yeah, we made it out to all of them, and maybe there's more events that we didn't make it to. So you gotta invite us so we can come out and visit. Yeah, but it was a great weekend here in the city of Fitchburg, and we have a lot to share with you today. We're going to be talking about Kids Building Wisconsin. We're going to take you out to the Madison Brewery bike race. Speaking of races, Ironman, yeah, they kind of pass through. We'll give you the results on that, show you some video from it. We've got a ribbon cutting that took place. We had the bike rodeo, and of course, the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 tragedy that was highlighted across the U.S. Some great tributes. We'll bring you out to our local one here that took place at the Fitchburg Fire Department. So a lot to get to today here on Talking Fitchburg. It's a lot of video, a lot of interviews, and we're so excited to share it with you. So let's get to it. First one we'll take you out to was Kids Building Wisconsin, taking place at McKee Farms Park, and it was a beautiful day with lots of construction equipment.
Kids Building Wisconsin is a free, fun, and educational kids event centered around the construction industry. We have over 40 interactive exhibits today. We have boom lift rides, scissor rides, kids workshop with Home Depot and the Carpenters Union. We have big construction equipment, cranes. We have different exhibits where you can build multiple things, like a little playhouse out of marshmallows and toothpicks, and a lot of prizes, a lot of fun. For the longest time, we didn't have a lot of people coming into the trades. It just wasn't something that was pushed in the school system. They were pushing going to college, and sometimes college isn't for everyone. At the exact same time, we had an aging workforce, so we have a major labor shortage. We came up with Kids Building Wisconsin to encourage a younger generation, inform them about the wonderful careers, wonderful high-paying jobs we have in the construction industry, and informing their parents as well. We hear from the parents about how wonderful the event is put on, how amazing it is. It's out in the park. It's something that the kids can enjoy. From the kids, we hear, "Wow, look at this piece of equipment. Wow, look at this." And I mean, kids generally love construction. I loved construction growing up, and it's amazing, especially seeing the kids that have been here every single year. One of the new things that I found really cool this year is Cornerstone Construction built a playground out of scaffolding, and it took them all day yesterday to set up, and it's really cool. It's amazing. It's huge and big. Also, Stevens Construction built a playhouse that they're giving away at the end of the day today, which is really cool. So that plus Home Depot is back, and we're very thankful that they're back at the event this year. I want to thank every single one of our sponsors. When we had to cancel the 2020 event, they stuck with us. They kept their sponsorship dollars with us. They rolled them over to make this event possible this year. It's in the fall, but we're going to turn around right away and do another event in May like we normally do. So, but I just want to thank all the sponsors, all the exhibitors, just for sticking with us. It means the world. It looked like the attendance was going to be down, but in the last week, registrations have skyrocketed. This is probably going to be the best event ever, and thank you for coming out to McKee Farms Park, and thank you to the city of Fitchburg for being so hospitable. You guys are amazing, and we're proud to call Fitchburg our home for Kids Building Wisconsin.
All right, now we're going to take you out to another great event taking place over the weekend, and this is happening between Fitchburg and Town of Madison, but will be Fitchburg here coming up. It was the Madison Brewery bike race taking place from Delta Brewery all the way to Hop House and back. A unique race, but pretty neat. Take a look.
Started back in 2020. This is our second one that we're doing. And we just wanted something fun for folks to do kind of mid-pandemic, and we thought we'd give it a go again this year. So how it works is people check in here at Delta, they have a pint, and then their time starts when they hand in their empty pint glass to us. bike over to Hop House via whatever route they want to take. There's no marked course or anything like that. Have a pint over there, and then bike back, and time ends when they arrive back here at Delta and have their victory beer. So that's kind of how it all works, and it's a really fun ride. We had, in our first year, we had about 120 people. This year, it's a bit smaller of a group. We've got 34 pre-registered, and we're expecting maybe 15 to 20 registering day of. It's awesome to get people tasting a bunch of different beers from 2 different local breweries, and especially since we're both so close together and mostly on bike path, it just kind of seemed like a perfect fit for the 2 of us. Come on out. It's a fantastic location. We make really good beer. It's a safe space, I would say, for everybody. So it's a cool brewery to hang out in.
All right, it was a fun race indeed, and hopefully you can participate next year on that bike race. All right, turning our attention to Ironman. Ironman riders passing through. All athletes kicking off early, starting with the swim in Lake Monona, and then transitioning into the bike. And biking passing through here in the city of Fitchburg. I just got out there. I missed the first runner, but you're looking at the second and third place runner and the first female runner, or first female biker. Sorry, saying runners, but I mean bikers. We're passing through the area here. Lots of support. I went to a couple different stops as I was working my way over to a ribbon cutting on Sunday morning. And it was nice to see Fitchburg residents and more out there cheering them on, and appreciate all of the volunteers, our public safety officials helping out for the day, and the athletes as well. Top male athlete coming in at 9 hours, 22 minutes, 22 seconds was Benjamin Stone. And female athlete came in at 10 hours, 17 minutes, and 37 seconds. And that was Anne-Marie Surlow, if I didn't say it, Surlow, finishing there. So swim, bike, run. Yeah. Final, I was kind of looking at it. Looked like the final competitors came in, by the way, at the 10-hour or 16-hour mark, and I couldn't even complete that race. So congratulations to all the competitors, and glad we can have them pass through here, the city of Fitchburg. All right, finally, for the headlines, we'll take you out to a ribbon cutting. Chapel Valley Church, you may know who they are, have found a new home. While it is just outside of Madison, they're so excited to still bring their great friendly atmosphere to everybody here in southern, all of Dane County, that is.
Well, good morning. Thank you, everybody who is joining us. And we've got friends that are here locally. We've got friends from afar. And we just want to say welcome. My name is Jay. This is my wife, Susie. We're the lead pastors here at Chapel Valley Church. And we have so much to celebrate. We are so excited for what the Lord has done, for what he's going to continue to do, and really just his faithfulness in our journey to this point. And so we just want to say welcome.
Yeah, I keep just repeating myself. That just means I'm really overwhelmed by everything that's happening because I have nothing new to say. But we first and foremost want to really say thank you. Jay and I, as we've reflected on this process, we've been blessed by so many people who have stood by us on this journey. Specifically in these last 6 years, because this is actually our 6th year as senior pastor anniversary as well. Just in case you can't get enough packed into one day, we're just going to keep trying. So it's actually 6 years that we transitioned into our senior pastorate role. And we have been just blessed by people who have been standing in faith with us, praying for us, encouraging us, cheering us on, rooting for us, lifting us up when we were like, what the heck are we doing? And so we just can't say thank you. And then those are people who are here with us today. And so as I've just taken time to just think about all of this, we recognize that we've not gotten here alone. Right? Like there's people who've gone before us, and there's people who've been beside us, and there's people who are sometimes pushing us from behind. And so something that Jay and I are utterly aware of is we are not on this journey alone, and yet that's our heart for the church, is that no one person would have to walk through their own journey alone. And so we just are just so excited for all of that. But we can't believe it's here. Yeah. Someone asked me this morning, did you ever consider leaving the area? And a little. There was, after 11 years and then 6 of it, you're like, if we just went out just a little bit, we could find what we're looking for. And so we didn't. And thank God that we both were never on a low together. Both of us were generally opposite in how we were feeling, or sometimes rejoicing together. And so we just know that God has done so many good things over these last 40 years, but over these last 6 years. And so we're just so excited.
1, 2, 3.
All right, there you have it. They are open. We'll bring you the full groundbreaking or ribbon cutting tomorrow. Groundbreaking ribbon cuttings. We'll have those. We'll have the Chapel Valley one for you, full version tomorrow here on Talking Fitchburg. All right, we got to take a break. We got more events to cover from over the weekend, including the bike rodeo, and we'll take a look at the 9/11 tribute here in Fitchburg. That's all coming up next, right on Talking Fitchburg.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. We were underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg in our digest. And today we're going to take you out to the bike rodeo that happened on Saturday out at the New Fountains Apartments. And if you didn't have a chance to come out and see what a bike rodeo is, well, we got the details. Take a look.
Well, today is a Bike Fitchburg, and a host of co-sponsors is offering a bicycle rodeo. That's a bicycle safety skills workshop for kids, but we call it a rodeo to make it seem more exciting. And so what they do here is they get their bike checked. They make sure their helmet fits. If they don't have a helmet, UW Health Safe Kids is here to give them helmets. Wheels for Winners is here to make sure their bike is in good operating condition, pump it up, adjust the brakes, things like that. Then we have some giveaways, t-shirts, safety literature, rear blinkies for the bikes. Once they've gotten signed in, they go through a 5 skill stations where they learn about starting and stopping and checking left and right before they move ahead, how to look left over their shoulder without turning left by accident. We have some fun things, dodging rocks and a little slalom course. And then they go on to a practice course where they get to practice what they've learned. We also have the Capital Off-Road Pathfinders Corp, our local mountain bike chapter, has their safety skills, or their mountain bike skills course set up here that we've borrowed. We have great participation from our first responders and from community volunteers, and we're having a lot of fun. Kids are getting valuable information, as do their parents who are going through the course with them. And at the end, they get a couple of treats, and at 12:30 we'll go for a community ride around the neighborhood and just point out some of the bicycle facilities and how to get into Madison or the rest of Fitchburg, how to go to the Hegel School, and where our new bike repair station is on King James Way.
I've never attended a bike rodeo or organized one, and I was in charge of organizing this bike rodeo. And the alders asked us to find an area in Jamestown to do a bike rodeo, and we found probably this most amazing spot right in the middle of a community at New Fountains Apartments. So super excited to be next to all the residents here.
So Bike Fitchburg has, along with safety, fun, and access, equity as one of our important principles. And so affluent parents with good digital connections and their own personal car can get to these things anywhere in the city, but not everybody has all those advantages, and so we like to try to set these things up in our more transit-rich neighborhoods where many families don't have cars, and make it more accessible to everyone.
It's great to bring in public servants, to bring in volunteers like myself, and then to connect with all the residents, and probably most importantly, connect with the kids and start building some skills. So the weather is phenomenal right now. We're in September, and I think everyone's just glad to be outside and working together. So everyone's doing good. The ice cream's starting to melt, but that's okay.
Well, Bike Fichburg is the local bicycle advocacy group for Fichburg. We lobby the city council and the city staff and the mayor to try to make biking more safe, more accessible, and more fun in Fichburg. And we have peer organizations in Madison and Sun Prairie, and the corresponding function at the state level is by the Bike Fed, and the League of American Bicyclists does the same thing in Washington, D.C. And I would be remiss if I did not thank the mayor for coming today and showing his support. So
one of the goals of the bicycle committee in Fitchburg and the organization Bike Fitchburg is to improve safety, access, and have more people bicycling in our city. And one of the ways to do that was for a safety standpoint, was to change the process for registration of bicycles. So we now put into place, we did have a mandatory registration process through our police department. We now have gone to, in May, they disbanded the ordinance, and we have gone to a process where you can go online and register your bike, and it goes into a national database. Simple process, anybody can do it. If they need help on our website, there is instructions, and we can also help people do that. So that is the first change. The reason for doing this was that people weren't registering their bikes. Now we'll get more to register, we hope. And at the same point in time, we are currently silver designed by the Bicycle League of America, and we want to move towards gold because of the impact of cycling in our city and in the state of Wisconsin in general. So our efforts are around safety, helping plan for road reconstruction, registration, and education like we're doing here today. We hope to have more of these in the future. So we're active, we're here, we want to hear from you.
Visit our Facebook page. That's a good reference of who we are, some of our projects. Our events are posted there. I said Facebook page, I meant our website. So that's bikefitchburg.org. And then our Facebook page is more day-to-day news, like if there's a stolen bike, or if there's a construction closure of one of the bike facilities, or if we have something new or an event going on like this, we'll make sure that it's on our Facebook page. So that's also just search for Bike Fitchburg. That's our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter handle.
There you have it. Bike Fitchburg doing a lot of great things here in Fitchburg, and you can learn more about the registration that was talked about or future events for Bike Fitchburg. They'll have it, and they tell us they'll be doing some more bike rodeos down the road. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at the 20th anniversary of 9/11 through a tribute done right here in the city of Fitchburg. It's next right here on TF.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps! Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel, and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. We're in our guest segment, and as we wrap up our weekend events, one of them that kicked off the weekend was a look back in the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. just a somber day, but I saw so many great tributes, and one that we had right here in the city of Fitchburg Fire Department, hosting with all of our public safety officials, and you, the viewers, were out there as well. We were happy to broadcast this and happy to take a look back at this great tribute.
At 0846 hours, the station bell will toll once, marking the time that American Airlines Flight 11 struck the north face of the World Trade Center. That was 20 years ago today. It killed all 92 people on board and ensured the deaths of 1,400 people at the aircraft's impact zone. After the bell tolls at that time, we will pause for a moment of silence. On behalf of our command staff, officers, firefighters, and our police officers, we would like to welcome you to the Fitchburg Fire Department. Together with the police department, we are commemorating the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. We will pay tribute to those who lost their lives in New York, in Washington, D.C., in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. This observation will honor thousands of military lives that were lost in the war on terror. American lives lost, answering the call, doing their jobs, those who placed themselves in a position where we had service above self.
I think my experience was similar to many others 20 years ago. I got in the car, started driving to work, turned on the radio, and they talked about how one of the trade centers had gotten hit by a plane. And I'll be honest, I didn't really understand the significance of the trade towers at that point in time. I didn't understand why that would be a target. And then as I'm driving to work, the second tower gets hit, and all day long, just that feeling of uneasiness. You heard about the plane going down, the plane hitting the Pentagon. And for me, my sister was in the Navy at that time. She was 8 months pregnant with my nephew and living out in Seattle. And so at that point, of course, myself is thinking about her safety. What's going to happen with her? I knew they weren't going to send her overseas or somewhere like that with, pregnant or even with a young baby, but I didn't know how long, she still had 2 years left on her commitment. I didn't know what was going to happen to her long term. And you really look at the bravery that people exhibited that day and days beyond that. And for me, being able to remember, that's what I try to remember about that time, is the people who came together, who were very selfless, in what they did. And for me, that's really what I tried to take from what was just a horrible incident as well. And so I think I really appreciate the people who are our firefighters, our paramedics, our police officers, those people who every day put their lives on the line for people like myself and for you. So I think it's a great time to remember that and to also remember those who unfortunately lost their lives. And I want to thank you for being here today, and also thank all of the people that we are very fortunate to have in our community that every day have that sacrifice for us and really support and help residents like myself and like you. So thank you for being here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mayor Richardson. For those of us who lived through the events of September 11th, remember the days that followed, the wave of emotions, not only anger and vulnerability and grief, but pride and patriotism. We made a promise to never forget. It got me thinking, not all of our firefighters are even old enough to have been alive during the attacks. So never forgetting requires historical perspective and education, learning from our experiences and passing along the significance of memorializing these events. As we ring the bell today, we symbolize the loss of life, the innocent, the patriotic, the heroic. And each time we ring the bell today, we will follow with a moment of silence. it's important to be able to acknowledge the fact that as a community, we not only grieved, but we came together to heal. On September 11, 2001, United Flight 175 struck the south face of Tower Number 2. All 65 on board were killed. The plane was traveling at 500 miles per hour as it impacted floors 77 through 85 with over 9,100 gallons of fuel. It also killed scores of people inside the building. That time was 09:03 hours. American Airlines Flight 77, originally bound for Los Angeles, falls victim to terrorist control and crashes into the western face of the Pentagon. 64 people on the plane perished, and 125 Pentagon employees died at 09:37 hours. At 10:03 hours, the passengers of United Airlines Flight 93 overtake their hijackers and crash their plane in the fields of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. If the passengers had not rallied against the terrorists, it is presumed that Flight 93 would have ended up at the Capitol building or the White House. In the hours, days, and months that followed September 11th, many people stepped forward to donate time, talent, and treasure. A blood drive, a fundraiser, a helping hand. Neighbor helping neighbor. It's through these horrific acts that we truly appreciated the voice of one nation. When a firefighter dies in the line of duty, paying the supreme sacrifice, it is the mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announces our comrade's passing. Today, on this 20th anniversary of the World Trade Center tragedy, the bell will toll for those who died on September 11, 2001, and for those who have died since due to illness or psychological impact.
There you have it. The full version of this tribute is online, by the way. You can check that out online at our Facebook and YouTube page. We have that posted up there, and we'll, of course, rebroadcast it here on Fact TV. We're going to take a quick break, wrap up the show next. You're watching TF.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihavepprediabetes.org.
All right, wrapping up the show. It was a busy one. You can check out all the videos that we shared with you today online at Facebook and YouTube. Have a great day, everybody.